8 years ago, in June 2017, a few months before the end of my internship at National Orthopedic Hospital, I set up a small shop, a really small shop at Abakpa junction for Maison d'Erex. That's our fashion business, House of Erex. And I was coming from a place where I had three shops. I had one in town, in the heart of a town at Abakaliki, and then I had two in the streets. That's my family house where it all started. So the ones in my family house were quite big. The one in town was big. It was two shops. Coming from those places, what I had at Abakpa Junction was really small compared to that. But I knew the voice of whom I heard. I had God clearly say to me, I'll bless you in this town. So I set up afraid. I spent way too much. I rented a shop from a man who had about 6 months to the end of his stay there. I got the approval of the landlady, that's the person that owns the shop. And after making payments, by the time we were done tiling, the landlady said no, that we had to go through her. And no, it wasn't just going through her to pay a 1 year rent. We had to go through her to pay a 2 year rent, pay for agent fee, pay for agency fee, and pay for lawyer's fee. It was a whole lot for my tiny shoulders. I was just a young girl who was done with internship and wanted to set up business. I wasn't used to the business dynamics here in Enugu. I didn't realize I had to pay all those bills. Now I had already spent money. I paid for someone's 6 months rent with her approval, by the way. And now I was to pay an additional 2 year rent or lose all I had spent on the shop. Somehow God showed up. My father was very helpful. I spoke to a few friends and I was able to raise the money to pay for the 2 years rent. So basically, I moved into this tiny little shop where I had paid 2 years and 6 months rent up front. I had no money left, no money to buy fabrics, to make samples of outfits, nothing. I shared a part of my shop was shared with a lady that sold cigarettes. So her customers would smoke non-stop and we would be on the receiving end. There were no windows, so we couldn't just close the door to the shop. It was more like a see finish kind of shop. Once you just come to the door, you've seen everything. And I got a lot of insults. Oh, you make so much noise on Facebook, and yet this is where you stay. But in all that, God showed up. This is officially 8 years that was spent here in Enugu doing business, and it's been nothing short of amazing. It was in this shop that we got our first set of students from NDE, National Directorate of Employment, Nigeria, and we got 15 people, trained them for 3 whole months, and didn't get shish. You can go and verify. Weren't paid. We finished documentation process. We finished everything, trained them thoroughly. In fact, having them facilitated our movement to our current place opposite Queen's School because the space became too small to accommodate them. I still had to take my auntie's shop on that line, but still it was too small. So we hastily moved to this new area because of them, and yet weren't paid a dime. Perhaps that's a story for another day. In all this, I can just share a couple of my lessons I've learned in doing business here in Enugu. Whenever you come to a particular place and you see a place you want to rent, look well into the matter. Make sure you get the approval direct. Yes, we got approval, but we didn't pay directly to her. She asked us, oh, we could pay to the man since he just had 6 months, and then later changed her mind and said we had to pay to her 2 years and then all those other fees. Make sure you meet the landlord directly. Do the deals directly with the landlord. Let the landlord be the one to do the refund. Let the landlord be the one to refund the tenants. Don't be the one to refund the tenants. Make sure you know what you're really going into. And another thing too, you shouldn't look into people's startup. If you feel that they are too humble, like their startup is too, you don't have to say it. You feel like, oh, someone makes a lot of noise on social media and the person is starting small. There's always a starting point. You don't have to come and insult the person and say, oh, you're not doing well, and don't look down on your own startups. Don't forget your dreams. Remember your dreams. For me, it took my husband reminding me of my dreams, because at some point I stayed there and for a moment I forgot my dreams. So he came in as that friend who was like, what's this? This is not a fashion school. This is just a tailor shop. Call it what it is. And then together as friends, we weren't dating. We just came up with plans on how to raise funds and move to a bigger place. And that's just about it. You just need to remember your dreams, no matter where you are, no matter the level of success you feel that you're enjoying where you are currently. Always remember your dreams and keep working towards that. We've not come to the point where we really want to get to in this business, but we're moving. It's an ongoing process. We're having dreams every single day. It's a constant reminder to remember our dreams. We got big dreams. Don't forget your dreams. Remember your dreams. Happy 8th year anniversary to Eric's Fashion Academy here in Enugu.